Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Browne and I work for the New South Wales-based Wagga Wagga, specifically Farm Advisory Holmes Sackett. Now, today's presentation is going to be a little bit at the start about a benchmarking initiative that we're hoping to get off the ground up in central and southern Queensland. It's a Holmes Sackett based group and supported by DAF Queensland, and we hope that we can be able to provide some good services for sheep and cattle producers up in these areas. Now, the question is, who is Holmes Sackett, I'd imagine, and who is David Browne? So I'll start with the latter. My name is David Browne, and I've been working as a farm advisor with Holmes Sackett now for just on 7.5 years. I hail from northwestern New South Wales and a pastoral sheep, cattle and goat operation, and in latter years I've been putting my practical expertise aside and moving more into the analytical and professional aspects of farm business and farm business strategy. Now, Holmes Sackett, we've been operating out of Wagga Wagga, New South Wales for over, this year coming will be our 20th year. Now, some of our key undertakings as a farm business advisory is our benchmarking service. We're one of the largest livestock benchmarking databases in Eastern Australia, and that map there gives you a brief understanding of where our services extend to. We benchmark anywhere between 150 to 220 farms each year, and this is something that we really enjoy, the interaction with our clients, helping them with specific farm business issues and working with them over a long time frame to see their businesses grow and to see their profitability increase. So in regards to this, we've got some individuals participating in our benchmarking services for up to 20 years, and we also run groups of benchmarking participants, and some of these groups have been going for 15 years. So as you can see, there's a lot of tenure there, and there's you can imagine that over those sorts of time frames you really get an understanding of what drives the profitability of farm businesses. One of the big benefits though is that, irrespective of regionality of data, that those people who do participate in the benchmarking service are able to accrue data across time and see how their business responds to market and seasonal challenges, and they can find areas for improvement with confidence. So some of the benefits of benchmarking: performance tracking across time. We have like-to-like comparisons to other farm businesses. Those people participating, they really do build an understanding of their farm business profit drivers, and with this comes evidence of profitable ideas and systems. We have group discussion in the group context. This really assists the sharing of ideas and innovations amongst progressive and profit-focused producers. If you do participate in benchmarking as part of a group, we also run on an annual basis farm tours. This gives you a gateway to, getting away from your area, meeting new producers with a new outlook and sharing your ideas and absorbing some of theirs on new ways to increasing your profitability. A recent example, early this year, we took a study tour of 40 producers from across New South Wales and as far north as Longreach. We flew them to Flinders Island, and we spent a couple of days on Flinders Island touring around and seeing how progressive producers there are expanding their businesses and generating high levels of profitability. These two graphs here really highlight what I'd call the two benefits of benchmarking. The top left graph here shows that the average return on assets managed increases with the number of years a business is involved in the benchmarking. So if you're involved in benchmarking from 1 to 5 years, we'd expect about a 2.5% return on assets managed. However, if you're one of these long-term benchmarkers, you're in there for 11 to 15 years, we'd be expecting a 4% return on assets managed. Why is this? Those people who benchmark for longer are able to make more and better business decisions over a longer time frame, and they're also able to look back and understand whether those decisions have succeeded, because they're measuring the manage, and they're able to take that as feedback on their management decisions. And the bottom right-hand graph there shows individual benchmarkers in the orange bars versus those who benchmark as part of a group. And you'll see there that the blue bars often overshadow the orange bars by quite a significant range, To put that into context, the average group participant in our database probably achieves $17,000 more profit per year for every $1 million worth of asset under management. Considering that a lot of these businesses have $10 million worth of asset under management, that equates to $170,000 of additional profit each year. It definitely pays for the extra $1,500 or $2,000 worth of expenses they invest into participating into a group. So how would it work? Well, I'd anticipate that a benchmarking group in Central and Southern Queensland would convene 3 times per year, each time on one of the participants' properties. The first meeting of the year would look at the group results. So for instance, if we benchmark the 16-17 year, we'd sit down together and have a look at everyone's production and financial results from that year. The following meetings within that year actually use the host property as a case study. So the Holmes Sackett consultant would come to that host property the day in advance and spend some time sitting down, going through the benchmarking results, interpreting the data and building a strategy for improvement for that business. That strategy for improvement is then presented to the group the next day and helps drive the discussion among the benchmarking group participants. Other key issues can be covered over and above the benchmarking results of the group and the actual of the host farm participant. These issues may be farm business skills development, technical issues affecting production, and other business related issues such as expansion and business strategy. I don't pretend to have all the answers, so what we really try and do is harness the collective wisdom of the group, so the group members provide input as well as the consultant on the day. So the big question, the cost of participating in a benchmarking group in Central or Southern Queensland would be $2,200 per year. So what would you receive for your $2,200? You'd receive 3 group meetings per year. They go for about 6 hours, or you'd put aside a day. Every couple of years you'll get a case study on your own business. Now with that a case study or that look into your own business, we rock up half a day in advance and go through the numbers with you, investment analyses, technical issues and interpretation of your benchmarking results. You also get our annual publication Ag Insights, which is a collation interpretation of the whole of Southeast, or hopefully Eastern Australia's livestock and mixed farming benchmarking results. You get a group comparison report that you can compare your individual results against the rest of the group, and you also get an individual farm business report that contains, in addition to the group report, more, I suppose, sensitive data in your financials, your equity, interest cover ratios, lease payments, etc. So not all that information shared with the group, but in your individual farm business report, it is there for your private use only. If participation as part of a group is not something that is of interest to you, participating individually costs $580 per year, GSD exclusive. So privacy is always a hot topic and something at the forefront of the minds of people who aren't familiar with this sort of process. There's 2 options pretty much. If you consider your production and financial data top secret and of highly commercially sensitive, then you're probably restricted to participating in benchmarking individually. Keeping in mind that we present data on a per hectare or per DSE basis, and it's always broken down to relative ratios, and that's the only way you can present it so it's meaningful across a group of different scale. If you do participate in a group, the group dictates the disclosure preferences. So I already said what you'd receive, and an example of some outputs. These are just very brief, very simplified results that come out of the benchmarking. At the whole farm level, we'd be able to show you your return on assets managed, one of the key indicators of profitability. Here on the left-hand axis, you got return on assets managed as a percentage, and what we have here is a group that we started up in pastoral southern New South Wales around hay. So their pastoral profit group, they were achieving about 3.5% return on assets managed for the average, but the Holmes Sackett database was achieving a bit over 4%. We also present that data for the top 20%, and although it's not described here specifically, we present it for the bottom 20%. Here's another whole farm KPI that we like to keep an eye on, is gross profit dollars per labour unit. So you can see there that for the average pastoralist, they're getting $300,000 of gross profit per labour unit, whereas the average of the Home Sackett database is over 400,000. So we've got different KPIs or benchmark targets for gross profit per labour unit for different enterprises. But obviously, the more gross profit you can generate per labour unit, the more profitable your business is going to be. Two quick examples of outputs at the enterprise level. We have, in this instance, a breakdown of income, total expenses and net profit, dollars per DSE for the average and the top 20% of both the pastoral group and the Home Sackett database. And in this graph here, it's a very simple production-based KPI, weaning rate, lambs weaned to ewes joined. So you can see here, interestingly, the top 20% didn't have as high a weaning rate in the pastoral group as the average. If you are interested in today's presentation or interested in looking at the option of benchmarking your business amongst others up in your area, and it'll provide you in a written format a bit more detail about what's going to go forward and what it might mean for your business.
If you are interested in Holmes Sackett's benchmarking, please contact David Browne. Thank you.